Welcome back to the Lead. I'm Jake Tapper. More now in our politics lead on this unbelievable election race. Labor Day is really the starting gun for the sprint to the primaries. And while, yes, the summer of Trump reshaped the race, things could undoubtedly change before the voting starts, as candidates are beginning to go up on the air with their first official ads and their travel schedules pick up the pace. Let's talk about this race with Democratic strategist Jamal Simmons and conservative writer Ramesh Ponnuru. Thank you both for taking a break from barbecuing and being here. Really appreciate it. Let me start with you, Jamal. Hillary Clinton gave an interview to the Associated Press in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, earlier today. Asked if questions about her email practices have damaged her campaign, she said, quote, "Not at all. It's a distraction, certainly." Asked Monday by the AP why she won't directly apologize, Clinton said, quote, "What I did was allowed. It was allowed by the State Department. The State Department has confirmed that. I did not send or receive any information marked classified. I take the responsibilities of handling classified materials very seriously and did so." So, Jamal, she thinks that this controversy isn't damaging her campaign? Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure how you can arrive at that conclusion.
conclusion.
Based on what it is that we know from all the polling and what it looks like. If I were her, to play strategist for a second, which is why I'm here.
Yes,
right?
please.
If I were her, I would start the conversation whenever I'm asked about this by saying, you know what, it was legal, but it wasn't the right thing to do. Here's why we did it, and then move on to the next question. But by starting out with the legalities about, other people did it, and here are all the reasons why, it just sounds too defensive. She's got to give people permission to move on by acknowledging that she made a mistake and then moving on herself.
How much of an effective issue do you think this is for Republicans? Because it is a little bit legalistic. She's already parsing in terms of things that are marked classified. Everybody knows that there is overclassification in the state. Everybody in Washington knows that there is overclassification. How much do you think this actually is a silver bullet of sorts?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a silver bullet, but I do think it is damaging because it makes Hillary Clinton look untrustworthy and dishonest. And you see in poll after poll, that is the perception that a strong majority of voters have of her. That cannot be good. She has got to be looking at those polls, and whatever she's saying to interviewers, she's got to understand that this is doing some serious damage to her candidacy.
But sometimes if people look at you and they see someone who's maybe a little bit more political than they would like, the thing to do is to act non-politically. Say something that surprises people, like, you know what, I made a mistake. I didn't mean to do it, but here's why.
It's interesting. Do you think that Vice President Biden should get in the race? He's obviously very torn, depending on what day or hour of the day you catch him. He sounds different. Do you think he should run?
I'm for the strongest Democratic nominee. And I think that if Vice President Biden got in the race, he would either beat Hillary Clinton or he would make her stronger in the process. So yes, I'm all for him getting in the race. And his people, I would have to say, the people around him, maybe not the close circle, but you hear these stories about phone calls, about consultants being contacted. There are people who are working around, assuming they want to load this thing ready for him to be able to get in the race if he wants to.
The Clinton people have been very respectful of Joe Biden as he makes this difficult decision. They're starting, however, to attack Bernie Sanders, who's really giving her a run for her money. Take a listen to Sanders this weekend, asked about Clinton's campaign and people, her surrogates, attacking him.
I think they're getting nervous. Don't tell anybody. Obviously, I think the secretary's people are getting very nervous about the kind of energy and enthusiasm our campaign is bringing forth.
Do you think they should be getting nervous about Bernie Sanders, or is this kind of just like a flash in the pan for, idealistic progressives, but ultimately they'll come home?
Well, I would imagine that the Clinton people are pretty confident that they will ultimately win the nomination, but they can't be happy about polls where Sanders is actually beating her. Now, they thought, I think, that this was going to be put away, that this was going to be essentially a coronation, and that assumption has been upset, so I think they've got to be nervous.
Speaking of coronations, let's turn to the Republican race and take a look again at those Republican numbers from Iowa and New Hampshire that show that Jeb Bush, that Trump is in the top, and stunningly, Ben Carson's number 2 in Iowa, John Kasich number 2 in New Hampshire, but stunningly, Ramesh, Jeb Bush and Scott Walker have dropped. They both have gone from double-digit support in Iowa and New Hampshire, respectively, and now they're at single-digit. What's going on?
Well, I think we are in the playing the field part of the political season for the Republicans.
This isn't just playing the field. These are people cheating on their candidates. Right. These are people dissing Walker and Jeb and going to other candidates.
Yeah, and I think right now they are more excited by the non-traditional candidates who haven't held elective office. John Kasich, I think, is the only person in the Republican field who's had a good summer who's been elected. Everybody else, Carly Fiorina, Ben Carson, Donald Trump, they're people who've never been elected to anything.
I've been running this informal Uber poll. Ask my Uber drivers, what do you think about the presidential campaign? And one of the first things that came back from a 40-ish-year-old woman who said to me, Jeb Bush just looks weak. he just looks weak compared to Donald Trump. And that's the one thing you can't appear as a presidential candidate, is you can never look weak. And I think he hasn't figured out the right stance against Trump to hold himself up as a leader of his party and the country.
But those, that's almost like, remember Tommy Flanagan, the subliminal guy? Was that, do I have the right name? The Saturday Night Live character who was always doing the subliminal thing. Donald Trump, it's not subliminal, calling Jeb Bush weak, calling him low energy, I think that actually takes root in people's brains.
Right.
That's right. And then Jeb Bush responding to it in a way sort of caused it to sink in further.
Can I just say this, Jake, before we go? I am surprised that the only contest right now where they're talking about immigration or any issues having to deal with Latino Americans or African Americans is on the Republican side. The Democratic contest has yet to really engage these core base voters in the party.
Well,
When Biden jumps in.
We're going to talk about a lot of that stuff coming up. Ramesh Ponnuru, Jamal Simmons, thank you both.